Is Nuno starting to morph into Cooper? Welcome to my thoughts after Luton 1, Forest 1. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to the post-match analysis for Luton 1, Forest 1. Coming up, I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about what's going on with Nuno. There's definitely been a change in application that needs to be discussed. Before all the Cooperites get themselves word, I'm fully behind Nuno. But there are some worrying telltale signs that we need to cover off. We're going to have to talk about dead balls, both offensively and defensively, as always. And just Forest doing Forest things. I mean, you could write the script, couldn't you? Before we get started, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And please don't forget, if you haven't already, download SofaScore. I mean, do you want to look at all the stats from the game yesterday? They all read... Every stat, basically, apart from possession, reads like Forest should have won that match. Deep breaths, woosah. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with the elephant in the room. Is Nuno turning into Cooper? And I'm seeing, and I have seen, a few worrying signs. And as I am always honest with you guys, I will remain as always honest. I just say what I think, basically. Sometimes I should think before I talk. But whatever. The thing that I want to draw your attention to with this is I want you guys to cast your mind back to the Bournemouth match where Bolly got screwed over by Rob Jones, as we all know. And we went down to 10 men quite early on in that game. Now, Nuno changed it up slightly. He took Origi, if I remember correctly, off and he put Niakate in. But then at half-time, he made an attacking substitution, bringing on Callum Hudson-Odoi. And then Forest went and scored from that with Elanga. We took the lead. Yes, then we ended up losing, whatever. Forget the result for a second. I'm talking about the application. And the application in that game was Nuno put two fingers up and basically said, I don't care if we're down to 10 men. This is my strategy. I'm playing this 4-2-3-1. He kind of changed it to a 4-1-3-1. And he was like, I'm going to go for the win. And over the last 3 or 4 games, I've seen that Cooperitis come into him, where it's the case of, let's hunker down. Let's mess up these substitutions and let's get some of these starting 11 positionally incorrectly. What did we all praise Nuno for when he first came in? One of the first things that made me just buy into what he was doing was moving Morgan Gibbs-White from the right into the middle, square pegs into square pegs in square holes, whatever the saying is. Anyway, and we saw that develop for a little while, but then we've seen Dominguez playing out of position. We saw yesterday Yates and Sangare playing as the 6 and 8 or the double pivot. Never gonna work. We've seen a Felipe coming on when I thought Bolly and Murillo had that defence on lockdown yesterday. And these are all, for me, negative defensive thoughts. And the substitutions are way too late to have a decent impact on the game. And that's worrying me. That's worrying me because I feel like Nuno's suddenly feeling the pressure of the situation that Forest are in, with the points deduction potentially coming on, with that game being a must not lose. I honestly feel if Forest had played that game 6 weeks ago, maybe 8 weeks ago, Nuno would have gone for the second goal. Now, we ended up with no attacking players on that pitch, or recognised strikers, should I say. Chris Wood came off. Morgan Gibbs-White then comes off. It felt like Dominguez was playing in a 10. I think Callum Hudson-Odoi at one point was the false 9 and Elanga for a little bit. There's no way that has been practiced on the training ground. What scenario could have been dreamt up for that to happen? And my frustration is the other thing that I see that Nuno's doing that's turning into Cooper is the exclusion of some of the players. Now, I said this in a rant yesterday on the player ratings. Apologies on that rant. That was right after full time and I was hot under the collar. But I still stand by what I said. He's bronze benching. He's putting on bench players. For those who don't know what that term means, he's putting on players he's never going to use on their bench just to fill out the numbers. It's a FIFA terminology. And I'm talking about Rodrigo and I'm talking about Reina. What is the point in those two signings? Like, Reina, I still see as a quality player, yet he's not had a whiff of the football pitch yet. And in a situation like that, where you've taken off Morgan Gibbs-White, be it, let's hope it was an injury, let's say it was tactical, surely you replace him with a like-for-like player. Who is Reina? Who is Reina? If Reina wasn't brought in to start, then Reina was brought in to be an understudy to Morgan Gibbs-White. So if you're taking Morgan Gibbs-White off, why on God's green earth are you not putting Reina on? And then the Chris Wood substitution for Felipe, that just felt like the Worrell moment from the same fixture at the City Ground. Now, Felipe didn't then go and get turned by Adebayor or whatever his name is and concede 2 goals. But there's a very similar pattern developing. Now, Nuno is the man to get Forest out of this situation. I'm still fully 100% behind him. There's so much going wrong at this club right now. You can't put the singular blame on anyone right now, and you can put it on everyone. Any name you guys suggest is being, it's his fault or her fault, you would have a case for right now. That's how I feel this club is at the moment. It's just derailing throughout this season, and that's a worrying sign. But Nuno can get this together. But he needs to get his kahunas back in line, man. And he's got to start using them. And he's got to think, we're a better team than Luton yesterday. We have the better players on paper than Luton yesterday. And we should be pushing for that second goal, killing the game off. And then at 2-0, if you want to bring Felipe on and, lock up shop and what have you, then fine. But why do that at 1-0 down and basically tell the other team that, right, we're done for today. This is what we want to achieve. Now it's up to you. You've got yourself a few minutes here to try and bombard us. And that's the bit that's just puzzling me. And that's the bit I can't forgive him for yesterday. Now, the other thing that's unforgivable, and I don't know who I'm going to blame on this one, and I want your guys' thoughts on it. Who do you blame for this? Is these dead balls. These dead balls. Now, apparently Simon Rusk isn't being used as the set-piece coach. So why is he even in the club? Kick him out. But who is in charge of these dead ball situations? Yesterday, I think Morgan Gibbs-White found Ross Barkley with our corners at least 4 or 5 times. 4 of them probably in a row. And it's downgrading how good Morgan Gibbs-White is in normal free-flowing football. Because he plays well, he's energetic, he shows enthusiasm, he's got the skill, he got the assist yesterday. But my takeaway from these games are always his corners and his free kicks, especially those in and around the edge of the box. We have not scored from a direct free kick since we've been back in the Premier League. The only one we have had was Jesse Lingard's double deflected goal against Blackburn in the League Cup last year. How the hell has no one addressed this? Now, you know what I'm going to say. We had a dead ball specialist in Scarpa. Freaking, you see West Ham using Ward-Prowse as basically nothing else than a dead ball specialist. Corners, free kicks, etc. Why do we get rid of Scarpa? We do not. How can we not have a candidate on that pitch or in that squad who has the ability to put a dangerous crossing or a dangerous shot on goal? And I'm sick to death of talking about it. It's been a problem under Nuno. It's been a problem under Cooper. And it's been a problem under Cooper since we got to the Premier League. And it hasn't been addressed. And then flip it down to the other end of the pitch. Number 19 goes in yesterday from dead ball situations. Look at the imbalance. 0 goals for us from dead ball free kicks. 19 against us from dead balls, from corners, etc. And it's not being addressed. And if it is being addressed, it's not being addressed quickly. And you knew it was going to happen. As soon as that Felipe substitution was made, as soon as Nuno waved the white flag, it just felt like that was it. Just wait for one of their stupid corners to go in. And that's exactly what it did. And that's exactly what happened. How do we fix this? How do we fix this? I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And then let's just move on to Forest doing Forest things, because that's exactly what happened at the end of the match. We conceded the goal. Forest could have won that. That would have killed Luton off. That was Luton done for the rest of the season. If we get 6 points, we still would have been ahead of them with a 3-4 goal difference lead. If we'd won yesterday, we would have been 15th, ahead of Brentford, ahead of Everton, maybe even ahead of Palace or close to Palace. Can't remember where Palace are in the league. But no, Forest have to do this the painful way, the stressful way, the hard way. And I mean what I said on the player ratings yesterday. I guarantee you, all those players got on the bus or the coach or the train or whatever mode of transport they got back to Nottingham in yesterday, with their headphones on, their Beats by Dre, I don't know if that's still a thing, over their ears, listening to whatever music they were listening to, counting the money. And we carry the stress. We're the ones who carry the pain, the hurt, and the stress of it. And they don't. I don't care which one of them come on social media and start tweeting about, disappointed about the point. It's all words. I'm seeing it in their actions on the pitch. They don't care. And they definitely don't care as much as we do. And I'm putting them collectively. Individually, I'm sure there's players that care. But as a unit, there isn't that bond that we must play to the final whistle, that let's throw our bodies on the line. Let's make sure this ball will not go into our net, that we will score down the other end. They don't care. They're here for the money, and I'm sick to death of it. I really am. But Forest are going to do Forest things. Look, we all have been deeply scarred by Forest over the years. We've all got our Forest stories. What's your most hurtful Forest memory? Chuck it in the comments. Maybe it'll be a bit of therapy for you to get it off your chest. You know, there's plenty for me. You guys have heard them all before. Sheffield in 2003, that's still the one that hurts more than anything. A lot of you are going to say Yeovil. There's example after example that we could go through. But if we're going to do this, we're going to do it the Forest way. And the only way we survive won't be with comfort. It's going to be painful. We'll probably drop in to the bottom 3 this weekend. We'll probably lose to Palace and then lose to Fulham and then probably beat Spurs and Man City. That'd be like the most Forest thing ever to do. We can't just do it the simple way. We should right now be sitting 6 points clear of the bottom 3, 15th in the league. And with the wind in our sail and Luton dead on their feet. And we can't finish off these teams in and around us. And that's what's absolutely frustrating me. Bournemouth, Palace. Should never have drawn at Palace. Luton twice now. Burnley, we haven't beaten. Brentford, haven't beaten this season. Who else is in and around us? Everton, we lost to. These are all the key battles that we are losing. And then we're picking up the higher hanging fruit rather than going for that meteor low hanging fruit. And it's just not the way to do it. But I still do believe we'll survive. I think we'll be okay. I don't know how. Don't ask me for logic in this one. Don't ask me for any kind of logic. We just got to win 3 games, 2 games on the bounce, something like that. But the problem is we got to sit on this annoyance for the next 2 weeks. And then this week coming up, we got the PSR details coming through. Anyway, it's not the most exciting or high-spirited video. I just got to get it off my chest, guys. I just got it off my chest. But I'm still fully behind Nuno. He's got to go back to being Nuno at the start of his reign here. And he's got to play that attacking, stick 2 fingers up at them and select the right players in the right positions, bro. If you've enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. Of course, there is a Grumpy Old Reds tonight. I think it will be again at 9:30. I haven't spoken to the guys. I don't know how they're feeling. We'll find out tonight. I'm not looking at WhatsApp and crap. See you later on Grumpy Old Reds. And if you haven't checked the player ratings out, go check them out now. And again, apologies. It was right after the match. Come on, you Reds.